But I just really fell in love with the people at Western Tech and the culture and the desire of your students to really have a career, not just looking for a job. My name is Gary Michael, and I am the tech recruiter for the McMahon family of dealerships. We're based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, as our home office. I represent the Ohio division primarily, which would include 2 stores in Columbus, Ohio, and 1 in Marietta, Ohio.
When does that connection start between McMahon and Western Tech? Does it start when Western Tech joins the D.A.T.E program, or was that before?
No, when they closed up the original D.A.T.E program with Wyotech, and they opened. I've been a part of the D.A.T.E program since its inception. I was one of the original members of the PAC committee, and we chose 3 schools around the country to promote the D.A.T.E program and put it in. And Western Tech was one. And from the moment I visited Western Tech for the first time, it was in February when I did it. I believe maybe 4 years ago. I can't remember the exact date right now. But I just really fell in love with the people at Western Tech and the culture and the desire of your students to really have a career, not just looking for a job. But you guys stress it. Your school stresses it, along with the instructors that you're looking for a career. You're not looking for a job. And so that's the reason I've been there as many times as I have, 3-4 times or more a year. I come there, not just for the D.A.T.E meeting. And it's a great place, great culture, great learning culture there, and you have great students.
What do you think are the advantages or benefits that these students, now graduates, or even the students can experience through the partnership between Western Tech and McMahon?
We know when a D.A.T.E graduate comes to work for us that they are a professional level Mack and Volvo technician. They have had the basic training and basic idea of how trucks work. They understand the philosophy of how an engine will work, a diesel engine. And, they don't have all of the hands-on experience, which is impossible to do in a school setting, but they've had quite a bit of hands-on experience. And, I know that the students coming from Western Tech know how to learn. That's the most important part. One of the first things I look at, of course, is attendance. And then I look at their grades. And we know and realize that some people test better than other people. But it's the willingness to learn. It's the willingness to advance yourself in a career. That's what I look for.
But tell me more about how is it that they can expand in the great company that McMahon is.
Well, the biggest thing is we care about our employees. Like I talked about earlier, they're our assets. And when we relocate somebody to our city, whether it's from Western Tech or one of the other schools, we make sure that they have the tools they need to succeed. A great example of this are the 2 service managers we have in Ohio, Christina Rosenberger and Sean Davis, both past D.A.T.E graduates, both relocated to our area. And now they're service managers. And so, I have a number of other technicians that that are D.A.T.E graduates that within a year or less have moved on to become master technicians.
During the pandemic, I think a lot of the skilled trades, Gary, truck drivers, diesel mechanics, automotive technicians, people in IT, nurses. Before, these careers for some people were looked at like not as important. What is your message to some of these individuals regarding these opinions that they might still have?
That's one of the problems we're facing, or schools are facing right now. If I were in charge, I would make it a requirement that everybody, there at least 1 year of high school spends in a trade, because you always can have a trade to fall back on. You can always have a skill to fall back on. And just because, I don't care if it's wood shop or if it's diesel technicians or what it is, you learn some very, very important skills there. You learn critical thinking. You learn how to look at a problem and how to approach that problem critically and to follow the procedures to make a repair or to build something. But unfortunately, right now, a lot of people only know how to Google. A lot of our young people, but that's one thing that is taught in trade schools, especially like Western Tech. It's critical thinking, how to approach a problem, and figure out not only what broke, but why did it break.
Diesel mechanic students that have received particular training in Volvo and Mack, how has this impacted the industry? Have you guys started to see results with this great idea of putting them together?
Yes, unfortunately, there's just not enough students in the pipeline yet. At Western Tech, I don't know your exact numbers, but it's probably somewhere around 95% higher out of the D.A.T.E program. And I don't think it's not quite that high in the core program, but in the D.A.T.E program it is. There are a number of dealerships standing in line. I know a lot of the local fleets out in Texas, Oklahoma. I've worked with a lot of them. I'm really good friends with a lot of the HR people at those places, and we all feel the same way. The important part is finding a home for these students that works not only for us, but for them as well. And so, yes, the other two schools that are involved in this have not had as much success as Western Tech to this point. There's a lot of different reasons for it. Some of it was COVID related, indeed. So, it put them behind. But Western Tech has stepped to the forefront and has probably the premier D.A.T.E program in the entire country.